Salete. All right, for this video, we're just going to go through quick overall goals, expectations, and classroom activities. I'll try to keep it brief. So this, again, is like stuff that we would have talked about, in school on the first day when y'all are all like glazed over and not really listening. So I'm going to go ahead and present it. So I'm going to disappear again. So walete. Okay, so goals. Our essential questions, really, the biggest one is qui erat Romani, which is who were the Romans? And to an extent, how does the ancient Roman world still influence us today, or kind of like a comparison? So qui erat Romani, who were the Romans? We are going to tackle that in our red book, the first book that we start with. So we're going to learn about like the daily lives of the Romans, things like the household, jobs, entertainment, politics, some stuff like that at a basic level. Okay, how we're going to do that mostly is reading. Reading mostly in Latin. Reading, listening, speaking, and writing are the four ways that we use language to communicate with each other. So in Latin class, the last couple years, I've been adding in more listening, speaking, and some just like basic writing. So I'm going to try to keep that up because the more that we practice different skills, just the more well-rounded we are in understanding the language. But I will say that most of it is reading. And if you go all the way up through levels 3, 4, and 5, and you take the Seal of Biliteracy test or the AP Latin exam, pretty much it's all reading, okay? So that's what we focus on. So we're going to learn who the Romans were through reading, right? So describe daily Roman life. We'll try to do some beginning geography of the ancient world and mythology. So we'll try to do mythology every week or two, just because it's a little fun. Sometimes it'll be in English and sometimes it'll be in Latin. I'm trying to switch more to Latin, but it just depends on how much time we have and if we're understanding it or not. And influence. Okay, so things like derivatives and stuff that we talked about the other day. Expectations. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Expectations, be an active participant, work with your classmates. Usually when we're in class, I have you guys work on almost everything together. So it will be a little bit different virtually. We're gonna try to still do collaborative stuff a few days a week because it's hard to do stuff by yourself, especially when you're first learning. Don't be a meanie, nobody likes that. Phones, that's more like an in-class thing, but also, if we're doing something live, probably need to pay attention. Okay, I'm still learning and trying new things, so please work with me, help me out. That is true in the classroom and virtually. In the classroom, maybe about 2 years ago is when I started trying to use more Latin in the classroom. I didn't use any Latin in the classroom when I was in school. Like, nobody gave us instructions in Latin or spoke Latin all the time. So I'm kind of learning, trying stuff out. And virtually, I'm not the most tech savvy, so we'll have to figure that out. Common class activities, and this again is kind of like in person, so we'll see how it goes. Vocab is huge though. Definitely. Repeat and act. So usually in class, I have us all stand up and act out words. So I will say a word and act it out, and you guys repeat it and act it out. So we're probably still going to do that. We might try to do some of that live, or I will pre-record some of it and then have you do it and maybe record yourself doing some of it so that I know you're doing it. Because acting it out helps us make an association with what the word means. So instead of like Latin to English, it's Latin to meaning, and that helps us understand it more. And some different things. Read, obviously we said that. So different things that we can do with reading is you can answer comprehension questions. Anglicé, Latine, ambo for your answer. So English, Latin, or both. act out the story, use illustrations to illustrate it or caption pictures that are already made. Read a story together. So I do have PowerPoint stories, so probably sometimes when we're live, we'll just get together and I might just plop it up and say, hey, let's try to read this together. Or maybe do a character study, tell the story from a point of view of a character, or summarize it. So different things that we can do. Culture said. Okay, so this is for virtual. Every week we're supposed to have 2 live sessions, at least 2, where like we meet on WebEx or something or on Schoology and we're all there and we're talking about stuff and we're going through content together. Collaborative time, at least 3 days a week. So that's when we'll try to do breakout groups. Maybe I'll give you an assignment. Maybe I'll say, hey, we're going to read this next story. But instead of doing it all together, I'll put you in breakout groups and y'all get, 10, 15 minutes to read a story and kind of do something with it. Or, discussion boards, maybe Padlet, something like that too, we can try out. Small group, at least once a week. So if we're doing something and it seems like a handful of people don't really get it, or I think that they need more practice, or maybe they totally get it and I have this extra thing they can try to do to expand their knowledge, then we'll just do a small conference. Individual online support is every day. I'm going to have time for that after the live session. So if you are just like kind of struggling yourself, or you need a better way to study or more practice, you just say, hey, can I meet with you? And we'll do just like a one-on-one session, figure stuff out. Other possibilities, we'll think about it. Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll do classical literacy or not. Tessera, that's something that I might still do. So that was basically the password to get into the classroom. So every week we would get a new one, and it could be like a classroom phrase, or just like a common Latin phrase like Winnie Weedy Wiki, Carpe Diem, just so that we can learn it and use it. So probably if we do that during our live session days, I'll have us say it and kind of talk about it a little bit. So we'll see, everything's going to be a little whatever. So also with this stuff, we're going to be doing Pear Deck, Edpuzzle, stuff like that, especially on the day that we don't meet live, but I've like recorded a video for you, things like that. Okay, and just one more thing to point out. Oh, hello again. On my webpage, on the school page, there are virtual learning expectations. So obviously for our expectations of how we want to act in class and participate, you are going to want to go there and just make sure that we're doing everything. It's a little bit long. Also, disce pati, learn to suffer, which means learn to endure, learn to allow it. That was our classics motto at Sanford. And anytime any of us complained in class, the professor would be like, disce pati, learn to suffer. Oh, you don't want to read this? Disce pati, learn to suffer. Because everything that we do in class is supposed to help you expand your knowledge in Latin, your reading comprehension, your vocab, your understanding of who the Romans were. So if I'm having you do it, it's to help you. So disce pati. Okay, that's it. Walete. See you guys later.